Yeah, when I drive around PJ, I see your banners everywhere.
Yeah, that's what people tell me too.
All right, welcome to Connecting the Dots. Now, today we have a special guest in the studio, and Anita, welcome to this studio and talk about real estate.
Thank you, John. Thank you for having me on your show.
Wonderful. Now, I've been working with you, Anita, for a long time, I believe. You know, since I joined the company, I've known you for a long time, and know you go through a different journey. And I thought that today is a great opportunity to really have a conversation and to understand you a little bit better. So, Anita, can you share a little bit about your background?
Okay, I started off after I finished my education. I went into banking line. I joined the Arab Malaysian Merchant Bank. I was dealing 5 to 6 years with the stock market.
Okay.
After which I made a shift and went into finance with Arab Malaysian Finance, and I was there for a pretty long time. And
How many years there?
Give and take maybe about 15, 16 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 15, 16 years or even more. So anyway, when the banks decided to merge, that's when I took the option to leave. They had a voluntary separation scheme, the
Okay.
VSS. I took it and left the banking line.
I see. Then what happened after that?
So basically, I took a 1 year's break. I was staying in a condo during that time, and I just felt like condo wasn't right for me. I'm more of a ground, landed property,
So where do you stay that time?
It was in Ara Damansara.
Okay.
I have a condo there, and then I decided to put it up in the market for sale. So that happened during the time when I took the break from the banking industry. So getting into that phase where I've put up my property for sale, and then I was meeting agents and buyers and all that. So that got a little bit interesting, for me to
Okay.
actually get a highest price sale for that condominium at that time.
So you were not trying to sell yourself at that time, right?
No, I mean, I don't even see myself as an agent. But it was funny because during that time when agents actually called me from my advertisements from the Star newspaper, they say, we've got buyers, we want to come and bring buyers to your place and all that. And then I was like, oh, okay, all right, come over. And then one day when one agent was talking to me about commission, I looked at the agent and said, what commission? I didn't engage you. You called me. So
Okay.
you asked the buyer for your commission. Why are you asking me?
Oh.
So at that time, it was like I was so naive. I really didn't know how the real estate industry worked. I didn't know who pays the agent and all that. So it is quite a funny story now thinking back, actually. Yeah.
Interesting. That is the selling process that you got experience from the other agents,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
So how do you come into real estate then?
So basically, after I sold my condo, I've always been a people's person.
Okay.
From the banking industry, the kind of connection and relationships that I have with my clients,
Okay.
I think that is my greatest strength. Able to deal with people. It can be of
Right.
any age group. So basically, after I sold my condo, I decided to explore a little bit more because I need a job now.
Right.
And my sister-in-law joined the real estate at that point of time.
Okay.
And I said, okay, she encouraged me. Then I just came and visited the Subang branch, Redfield in Subang,
Right.
under Ronnie Fernandez, and I joined under his team.
Wonderful.
Yes.
This is a wonderful person, right?
Yes,
The
he was. I think he was a great mentor.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the lessons that I learned.
I never forget about him also. I remember when I first joined about 10 years ago, the first session that I joined is about exclusive training.
Yeah.
And it's still in my heart and in my mind.
It's
but
exclusive and 3%.
exclusive and
Yeah,
3%.
yeah.
That's a wonderful man. All right. So let's continue. So that's how you come into real estate. So how many years already, Anita?
In total, I will say I'm 16 years in the industry. I think out of which 14 and a half years is with Redfield Properties.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
So
so
what happened after that?
no, I basically I joined another company first, and
Okay.
then I joined Ripfield, and I'm very comfortable here. I think this is where home is.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I don't see myself moving to any other companies for now. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So 16 years of experience in real estate.
Yeah.
So what is your focus area and what do you do?
When I started, I dived straight away into bungalows and lands in Tropicana. So my first 2-3 years, I was focused more in Tropicana.
First
My
2-3
first
years.
sale was a land sale in Tropicana. I
How do you
remember
close the
clearly.
first sales?
It was in TR9.
Okay.
I got the listing from from Star newspaper,
Okay.
where a PA of a company actually put up the advertisement for the land for sale.
Okay.
And of course, when I contacted her, I mean, I was super excited because I'm so fresh. I got my first listing to work on. I mean, not knowing that actually maybe there are 15 other agents already working on that listing. But it got me really excited, and that excitement actually took me to the level where I kept advertising non-stop in the Star newspaper for buyers. So I got the sale done actually within 2 weeks, and the PA was so surprised because she
Very
has already
impressive.
because she already put that property in the market for maybe 2-3 months,
Okay.
but she didn't get any offers at all.
Okay.
So to cut the story short, what has happened is maybe 15 seasoned agents were working on the property, and I'm a newbie. So I worked really hard while the 15 say, wow, there's another 14 agents working on it, so we're not going to pump money and work on it.
Okay.
So that's how I got a buyer for the property, and I think it was so encouraging for someone who just got into the industry.
Okay, I'm just very curious. So when you first join in this industry, how long does it take for you to close your first sales?
I think it's within 1 month.
Wow, that's very
Yeah,
good.
so the company I was with, they were super impressed because they
Okay.
didn't see someone so new able to close something worth so
Okay.
much, so it was very motivating actually.
Right. Were there
Yeah.
anyone helping you at that time when you first joined? I believe you probably don't know about a lot of things, about the knowledge
Yeah.
about real estate.
I joined a very small company in Taman Desa. No doubt the founder, the principal was very nice to me. He guided me wherever possible. But that's about it. I think you're pretty much on your own lah. You have to do your own stuff and all that.
I see.
And I think it came to a point when I realized I needed to move on to maybe something better, and that's how I left the company and joined Ripfield.
Better in a way that better guidance, better training?
Yeah, a
or-
lot of guidance, a lot of training, and I think at the end of the day, everyone is willing to help you, to show you the way. I mean, at the end of the day, you cannot expect everything from everybody, but you're in a safe space where you can get help when needed.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, that is very important.
For me, I think the most important thing it was Ronnie Fernandez himself helping me. So I
Right.
think that made a lot of difference at that point.
Yeah, impacted your life.
Yeah, he did.
Right. Okay, so you started at Tropicana and then what else?
Okay, from Tropicana, then I went into the Bangsa market and Damansara Heights market. I
Okay.
managed to do a few sales in both those locations. And then, of course, clients in the long run, they have properties elsewhere. So I wasn't really focused in one particular area. But one client who is very loyal, with the service that I have given and all that, they basically have properties in other locations.
Right.
So I started on an exclusive basis work for those clients, but then I'm taking care of properties in other locations. And until when it comes to a certain point in life when you feel like you're in too many areas and you feel that you can't give and do so much because you have to be in this area at 1 o'clock and next area at 3 o'clock, and it becomes very tiring. So that's when I decided that maybe I should be a little bit more focused, and then
Okay.
I went a bit stronger in PJ in Petaling Jaya.
So No, I heard a lot of story that Asian always start with everywhere 1st, and they run like a headless chickens, you know. They get themselves so busy, but there's no productivities.
That's
You know,
right.
and now they will choose one locations to focus on. So which the area that you're focused on right now at this moment?
At this moment, it's PJ. It's the place where, I mean, I must say, where I'm born and I grew up. You know,
Yeah.
I lived in Section 11 PJ with my grandparents. Then from there, my dad in Section 14, he bought his first
Okay.
property there, and then to Jaya in SS5.
Right.
So PJ is basically my playground. Yeah, I know PJ very well. I know all the lorongs, all the small slip roads to beat the traffic and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that is how passionate I am about PJ.
Yeah, when I drive around PJ, I see your banners everywhere.
Yeah, that's what people tell me too.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right. So 16 years of experience, started with Tropicana Indah, move around, and then eventually you find the area that you can connect the most and have the conviction into it and can share about a lot of story about in PJ, right? Now, maybe just a question is that what are the biggest challenge that you've, or probably setback that you had over the last 16 years?
I mean, there are a lot of incidents or a lot of cases, but what really, I mean, it is still there on my mind until today is a case where I've an owner who engaged me to work on his properties, and I think in total he has more than 100 properties. You know, so he has a portfolio of properties. He asked me to handle that, and I worked really hard, really hard. I pumped in a lot of money. You know, as a solo agent, you don't have that big sums, that funds that in hand.
Yep.
But I went all out thinking that, you know, I'll just focus on all this and go all out. And what was very sad was I worked on one property in KLCC area, and I managed to get a buyer, a foreigner to buy at that time. And we got a very good price for it, in fact more than what he expected.
Wow.
And we sealed the deal, but the problem was at that time this owner insisted that all the monies, the earnest deposit, had to be parked with his lawyer. You see, but I still did the right things, got the right documentation, got the right forms filled up, you know, even to the extent where we can claim for the commission and stuff like that. So everything was right, but what happened was after the transaction took place, I never got my money. The total commission was 50,000 ringgit,
How much was the property?
about 2.5 million.
Okay.
It's a condo in KLCC, but it was 50,000 ringgit, which is a lot of money for me.
It
That
is.
will be able to help me to, you know, clear a lot of bills and, you know, debts and stuff like that. But
Understand.
what happened was he refused to pay me my money. The lawyer was supposed to release the money to Ripfield, but instead the lawyer released the money to the owner.
That's very bad, right?
Yeah, I consulted a few lawyers, which everyone say I have the case, I will win the case. But in the end of the day, that so-called owner is of public interest at that time because of some national case, and I don't think he is really bothered by my demand for 50,000 because he had so many other cases running in the background.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the end of the day, I may win the case, but I may never get that money still. So I did not pursue it because it will still incur costs on my end. You know, so yeah, so that was an experience. And then of course another experience is where I think 2 or 3 times people I know personally, clients that I know personally, whether from friends or from
Yep.
from just clients, who knows about properties for sale because of my marketing. I give them all the listings, I give them the information, everything.
Right.
You know, just because we are in a long-term, you know, working relationships with them. And then you get to know after 3 months, 4 months when you see the land, you know, the transactions.
Yep.
You actually see that they have actually went and bought the property behind my back. That means they have gone and directly dealt with the owner.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
actually show the property to this
Yeah,
buyer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, so that is actually it sort of it shook my trust issues in clients.
Mm.
So much so I am very careful with, dealing with people, sometimes even people we know, because at the end of the day, there's no guarantee, who is going to go behind your back or who's not going to go behind your back. So we do a honest job. We do as honest as we
That's
can. At the end of the day, we protect ourselves also lah. We just ensure that whenever we do our work, we are able to protect. We are able that the deposits have to be paid with the company. Let's
Yeah,
do
that's
things
true.
the right way lah. That's the way it works.
Right.
I'm willing to walk away from clients who would not want to follow the
Correct.
the way we do things. Yeah.
Right. So Anita, I think based on your story, you just mentioned about a few key things like number one, the seller insists the deposit to be parked or to be transferred to their lawyer's account, right? But what do you think about earner's deposit not being transferred to the real estate agency as a stakeholder, but transferred to another party's account? What do you think about this?
For me, I think right now it means that there could be a red flag because, first of all, we are 40 years in the industry. Redfield is 40 years old. So it's not like we are a new company and, or a company of not that trust, that people don't have trust in. So if somebody is not comfortable to park their money with Redfield, then maybe don't engage us lah. Maybe don't engage us, or engage us and do things the right way, because that's how the procedure is. So for me, it's a red flag that why wouldn't somebody do that? Why would somebody want monies parked with their lawyer? Because in the end of the day, it is also bringing discomfort to the buyer, because the buyer will say, you are the middle person, why do I need to park money with the lawyer? I would rather the money park with Redfield.
Correct.
I think there was a case recently where a deal did not go through is because of that house
that's
in
right.
SS2.
Correct. I think the reputation is important.
Yeah.
I think Redfield Property has been 40 years in the market and has a strong reputation and integrity.
Yes.
Now, it also that as a company that hold this money as a stakeholder is actually protect both party.
That's right.
Right, because as a stakeholder, right, we cannot forfeit or release the money without having both party agree. Sometimes transaction will have dispute. That's where the stakeholder is very important.
That's right.
Some people, because of dispute, they say, I just want to take the money and run away. And you just reminded me about one of the cases that we closed for SS2, single story semi-D. The transaction did not go through, and the seller want to forfeit the monies and the buyer want to take back the money, and there is a dispute in these transactions.
That's
Now, can you imagine if the money is not with
Yep.
Redfield Properties, if it's with sellers or with buyers, right? The money definitely gone already.
That's right.
So our stand is that we hold the money and we will not release, we will not forfeit until both of you have comes to a agreement or there is a settlement agreement.
That's right.
Send a copy to us, we have a black and white. Then if that settlement agreement says that forfeit 50% or fully refund or fully forfeit or whatever, we will follow according to the contract.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
that's the right thing to do.
That is the right thing to do lah. So for us is to really protect both parties.
That's right.
All right, so you just reminded me about this
Yeah.
story, and I want to share about this. All right, so maybe one thing I want to highlight now. Everyone go through some setback and challenges, and how do you deal with that? Have you ever thought of, giving up this industry? This industry is so tough. Have you ever thought about that?
To be honest, 16 years wasn't, I wouldn't say 16 years were all great years. There were a lot of down years as well.
Right.
And I mean, of course, there were downtime where it just went on for 2-3 years, where I think easily one may give up the industry wholeheartedly lah. But the thing is, I really love what I do.
Wonderful.
And I don't see myself doing anything else. So I have to make sure I make this work for myself. So yes, it's like dealing with people. I need to manage how to deal with people rather than I mean, there are days that I get really upset, you know,
Yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday, yeah. But the thing is, it's people.
Yeah.
These
It
are
is
the
true.
difficult people that we are dealing with.
Yep.
And I think we just need to know when to actually draw the line,
That's true.
you know. And I think this something I learned from this is sometimes we just need to walk away.
Wonderful.
I know it's difficult for me to walk away, but I think I've learned it that I need to walk away sometimes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, in this industry, like exactly like what you say, so many years in the market, you have seen all kind of people. They come from different background, different personalities, different characters. You know, I've seen how buyers squeeze the seller. I've seen how seller bully the buyers. You know, everyone. I think that's exactly why we are here.
Yep.
I would think that is why the market need real estate agent and to really learn how to handle people like this.
Yeah.
Now, although it's difficult, it can be stressful. I believe you and I have a sleepless night before to handle some of the cases, right?
We did.
Yeah, we did, but never give up.
Yeah.
Right. I think never give up. I think the love of real estate that we see the fulfillment that we get by helping the buyer and seller to get the property they want, or to help the seller to find the right buyer for the right price. That is actually very fulfilling.
Yes, it is.
But one thing that I want to highlight is that actually the market is so big that we should not serve everyone in the market.
Yeah, that's right.
And sometimes if you serve the wrong one, right? And probably I would say this, sometimes there are certain deals that you shouldn't close. Because when you close, you create a lot of dramas, you create a lot of problem for either party, buyers or sellers.
Yeah.
Right? And if there are certain buyers, they don't respect your professions, I think we should respect ourselves by walking away.
Yeah, that's right. I think we experience that a lot of people don't see the real estate negotiators as true individuals who are going to go out all the way to get their properties sold. I just feel like people don't see us as people doing reputable service. You know, they just think
Right.
that it's easy money that we earn, but they don't see in the background how much we need to do actually to get a property sold.
Do you think it's easy money, Anita?
No, it's not easy money. But it's not easy money at all.
It is not an easy money, but that's the impressions
Yeah.
that the market. Oh, you
That's
sell
right.
one property and then you
Yeah.
make so much money. But what is the real case? What is the real situation, Anita? Would you mind to share? Like, for example, if today you inspected a property, you get a listing, can you walk us through about the whole process?
Well, okay. I mean, first of all, when I give an example of our client, okay,
The recent one or whatever,
yes,
yeah.
yes, a very recent one that you went with me. So basically, I think the client has too many things. The seller has too many things on his mind. He has a lot of expectations. He's not being real. So we went to inspect the property. We saw the property. I mean, it's a good property, but realistically, we have done our research. The market value of in that location doesn't fetch the kind of price he has in mind. It's way, the price is just too far.
Way too.
Yeah, way too far. And then he has a lot of demands like you have to do this, you have to do that. You see, in the end of the day, we are the people selling the property. We just need owners to trust us to do our job. When you put a lot of demands there, and all the demands are very, it's not fair demands. So, in fact, I'm going to have another meeting with him today. And honestly, I'm still thinking whether we should take on this listing or not take on this listing. I will decide later today because in the end of the day, even before we can sign the paper to be engaged to work on the property, I already foresee too many problems. It's whether the client is willing to actually sit down and listen to us and trust us to do the job, or he want to dictate every single thing that we do that is not going to be to his benefit.
Understand.
Yeah.
Now, why don't we talk about this a little bit? Now, what happened if the seller priced their property too high? What happened to them?
Basically, they are already causing damage to their own property.
Why would you say that?
Because if giving example, if somebody say the market value of your property is 800,000, but you say no, I want 1.1. Let's say just out of thin air, I say my property is worth 1.1. Okay, I do ask sellers, how do you justify coming to that price? Oh, my house is very good condition. So we want to actually educate everyone. Every owner out there will see value in their own property because of their emotional attachment to the house.
Right.
Everything in the house is of certain value because they know, because they live there. So everything is of value. But the same house will not have the same emotional value with a buyer.
That's right.
Somebody who loves his kitchen so much and feel that he is asking extra 50,000 because of the kitchen that he is like, but his kitchen could be 20 years old. But the same buyer that comes will just tear down the whole kitchen.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, not pricing the property right causes damage, because putting the price in the market of a high price will actually turn away buyers, because these days every buyer out there is very well versed with what's going on with the market.
That's right.
Some buyers are even smarter, like they can tell you upfront what is going on in the market. Some agents may not even know. So that's why as agents we must be first hand. We should have every information out there so that we can actually educate the buyer if he's not giving us the right information.
That's true.
You see, every buyer will have their own point that they want to buy the cheapest. When the property is not supposed to be that cheap, we advise them no, because however bad a property is, but the house still has value.
That's correct.
You see, so they cannot expect just because they want to spend 500,000 to renovate that the owner will have to minus 500,000 for their renovation.
Correct.
So that's incorrect. And as an agent, we advise the parties accordingly. So we do protect our owners because we are working for our owners, but at the same time we educate the buyers where necessary.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I think it is also very important that price the property correctly.
That's right.
Now, if we price it correctly wrongly, or we price too high, like exactly like what you say, you create damage to your own properties.
Yes.
Your property will be sitting on the market for the longest time, and you push the real buyers away, right? Because and most importantly, I remember this statement that made by one of the coach is that when you price your property too high, you're not helping yourself to sell. You're helping your neighbor to sell.
That's right.
Because you make them look cheap.
That's right.
Right. So if you're not ready to sell and you want to price it very, very high, then better don't list the property first.
That's right.
So I think that the conversation today, when we think whether we should take the listing or not to take the listing, also need to assess the motivation of the seller.
That's right.
Right. So if by taking the listing will create damage for the seller, then it's better that we don't take. Of course, we handle it respectfully.
Of course.
And tell them the reason why we should not lease your property. Because if I proceed to lease your property, it will definitely create damage to your properties. And when your motivation is right, when your motivation is high that time when you wanted to sell, right, the damage is already there.
True.
And you may not be able to sell the property at the highest price possible.
That's
So all the best today for your conversation with him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it actually.
What time is the appointment?
Somewhere in the afternoon, he's yet to tell me. Yeah.
Right, all the best to that. Now, maybe one of the questions, I think you have shared this already. Maybe just one of the questions, that what can you tell or what can you learn from your experience and your realizations about the last 16 years?
Basically, the 16 years has taught me to be a stronger person. Stronger as in, I'll be able to handle challenges.
Okay.
And handle different kind of clients, whether buyers or sellers. And in the end of the day, I think also the 16 years has made me wiser, that I am a little bit more, I'm very mindful about what's going on in the market. I should have first-hand information on the market, on properties, so that when we advise our clients, we are doing the right thing. I just don't want to give information to clients just to make myself sound good, but then actually there's no substance, or maybe false substance, in the information. So I think very important is at the end of the day boils down to our value,
That's
and
right.
I think from 16 years I can say that the service that I share with my clients, I give to my clients, has only brought me a lot more referrals. So I believe whatever I've been doing has been just the right thing for
That's
them
right.
to refer me.
That's
Yes.
right. I always see a lot of referral listing to you. That shows
Yeah.
how close you are with your client. That
Yeah,
shows
that's
the
right.
relationship.
That's right.
That's right. Again, this is not a transactional business. This is a people business. Would you
That's
agree with
right.
that?
Exactly that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So now I understand that you've been going through some challenges over the last 16 years, and what you just shared and what you learned from the last 16 years is fantastic. Now I will also think that challenges is are meant to be there. Okay, you will get hit along the journey, and I was just sharing yesterday. I was reading a book that in this journey you will get hit, but you don't get knocked down,
Yeah. That's
right?
right.
And you have to build your resilience muscles. So it's a character formation process. It's the process that you become a lot more matured about how you handle things. So sometimes these kind of challenges, this kind of problem, this kind of setbacks, right? You have two choices. Number one, you come out become bitter about it, and you let it poison your heart.
Yeah.
Number two, you become a better person,
That's right.
and you share the experiences that is worth sharing. And that's very aligned with the mission that we have, experiences worth sharing and build a business that is worth owning.
That's right.
Right. So thank you for highlighting that, and you just reminded everyone that, when you have challenges, when you have setback, just don't let it poison you. Don't become a bitter person, but be a better person.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly that.
Now, I want to ask you this question. I think you've been working as a solo agent,
Yeah.
and now you're now in the team right now, working as a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
What is the difference between solo and also working in a team, and why did you join a team?
Okay. I mean, yeah, I've been working on my own over the years. And when last year we sat together and looked at the possibility of us working together, it did give me some positive side that why not? Why not? You were willing, you were willing to go into the PJ market. I'm already there. So what is there for us to lose but to work together? And
That's right.
it's I think about a year now, or slightly more than a year, that we're in a team.
Yeah.
And I only see that it can only go better and better. Whatever plus and minus, we can sit down and always look at it and how we can do things better.
Of course.
But you see, as a team, as a solo agent, my thoughts are only that much. I can only do that much. My strength is only that much. But in a team, there are a few of us. And I value this team because I feel that you are always willing to listen. You're willing to listen at what we have as ideas, willing to look into ways of doing things. It's not one-sided. I think everyone is involved equally, and we are all doing this equally only to be better. In the end of the day, I think as a team, from my experience this 1 year, I feel that our clients trust us more.
Wonderful.
When we go out and do our presentation, we show them what we are going to do. We actually do and prove to them that it can be done. And I think the biggest highlight is they are everything is very transparent.
Right.
Our clients know exactly what we are doing, where we are spending money, what we are going to do next, what are the clients saying. Everything is transparent. We are all in one chat group.
That's right.
They are on the same page as us. So that's the difference, because basically they say no one else does that. And I think a lot of our clients have said that agents come, agents go, we don't hear from them. And then suddenly they come again, then they go again, they vanish.
Do you think this is happening right now also?
Yes. No, with the other agents, yes. That's according
of
to,
course. In the market.
not with us. Because I think having that chat group with them in, and where we discuss about their property, actually they actually see what we are doing. And then when it comes to time when we have to sit down and talk about new proposals and what we need to do to tweak things,
Yep.
and how to create interest, maybe there are some properties not moving, what else can we do to make things move, and we are in discussion. I have seen, I think 99.9% of the time they agree to everything that we say.
That's
You know,
true.
they respect that because they believe that whatever we are doing, we are doing it wholeheartedly. So I think more often than not, no one has actually said no to us when we have new proposals and ideas, or even to price adjustments.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they need it.
Yeah.
Actually, the seller really need to hear from you. What do you think about the market? And
Yeah.
actually, the seller is really waiting for someone who is able to advise them, and not just there just to make a transaction, just to make a commission and then say bye bye to you.
True.
But really, seller need help.
True.
Now, I mean, sometimes the market right now is actually not as easy as before. It's a
True.
little bit more challenging.
True.
I think when we started the team, this is the principle that I have, is that everyone is unique. They have a different strength and weaknesses. And I always believe when it comes together, join forces together, you create a better value to serve the market.
That's right.
And that's why J Dot is here. And the vision is to really bring light to the real estate industry. By you, Anita, you always advise client. The client listen to you, and they see hopes in their transaction journey. Now, can you imagine if someone don't see a problem? I've seen some of the Asian, they see problem, they keep quiet. And they say, I don't know how to advise. And if the seller asks me how, I got no solution, and then hold me accountable, and then will keep following up with me why the property is not selling yet, you know. But I would think that if someone who really don't know how to advise, we are nothing but a salesman. We are not here just to be a salesman. I think we are here to really give the best advice to our client, and to really have a conversation with client to have that alignment. I think that alignment is important. So one thing is that when we talk to seller, right, or when we talk to everyone that we are trying to do business with, if the alignment is not there, the transparency is not there, the objective is not there, right, I cannot function one. Because I don't know how to help you if I don't know what you need.
That's
It's
right.
exactly like you go and see a doctor's, and the doctor say, what happened to your body? Actually, you got problem, but you cannot describe. And then the doctor want to do some tests, and you are not allowing to do this. The doctor unable to help you.
True.
Although the doctor knows that you are unwell, something wrong with your body, but tell me so that I can diagnose it and I can treat it correctly. But if the conversation is not happening, and I don't understand what you need and your objective, and not cooperative, it will be very challenging in the whole entire process.
Yeah.
And this will also, because the transparency is not there, the trust is not there also.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good. So maybe we talk a little bit about creating value to clients, right? So how do you create value for client when you take on the listing, or how are you different from the rest?
Okay, so basically our presentation, I think the presentation kit that we have says it all. We are very transparent from the first page to the last page. You see, so basically we have 7 steps that we take to, to do on their property, the things that we will do, and we guide them through that. This is step 1, step 2, step 3, up to step 7. So of course then we also tell them that these are the steps we will take in the first month. You know, we have our guide where we know what to do first, second, third, before we take on something else. So they are very aware of it. In fact, it gets them very excited. In fact, they are asking, so when are you going to do step 4 or when you're going to do step 5? We said, no, we'll take it step by step. So at least they know we're not just going to dump in all 7 steps at one go. It doesn't make sense because we have so many properties to work on. So we cannot dump every step in every property, because I think then we are burnt out, on
right.
our end, and we have the period of 6 months to work. Of course, whatever we can do, we try to get it done in the first 3 months. That will be the best. We don't want to leave a property in the market for long.
Yep.
We don't want property to suffer on its value.
Mm.
So we are very clear about what we want to do. With my experience and with the diversity of our team, we have a very young team.
Very young
I'm
team.
talking about very young team with me in it. I don't know how I can call it young team, but I think we can work together to make sure that the seller is comfortable with us, and I think the seller gets very comfortable with us. They feel like they've given their property to the right people to work
Right.
on. And so we are very clear with them. We show them what we have done. We show them the past transactions that we have done in their location. We give them the objective, and then they sign on the dotted lines before we get our marketing started.
That's right.
And the first thing we do is, for every property we take on, we get our 360 scan done. And even they are surprised because they actually see us already starting to spend money
Yeah.
even from the very beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
They also see us very different
Yes.
in a way that I think when we started the team that times, we do not spend so much money on home tours.
Yep.
Right. I think only beginning of the years, we want to market the property differently. Currently, most of the Asian market property the same way. And you cannot do justice to the property if the property has got a different, unique selling propositions.
That's right.
And I think the home tour is the best way to highlight about the USP.
Yes.
So I think that's also why we tell the clients that I think home tours will work. I think one of the property that we have did in SS18, that property has been very, very challenging. It's been on the market for a long time. And when we do the home tour, it has the highest exposures, and the clients that we bring, they're all qualified.
Yes.
So I think these are the very creative marketing and also solutions that the clients want to hear from you, and I believe that probably make us a little bit different from the rest.
I mean, talking about that property, it is also to narrow down that owner had like nearly 20 agents working for him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I mean, when he gave us on exclusive basis and see what we are doing, I think he's quite satisfied.
Right.
Yeah.
From a 20 agent and then give exclusive to
Yeah,
that one
to
agent.
one.
That means a lot.
I think basically when we sat down with him, we actually told him, please let your house breathe because there are 20 banners on your house.
That's right.
So he
that's right.
listened and gave a 3 months breathing period to the
Correct,
property
correct.
before we took over.
That's right. That one we enter into negotiations already.
That's right.
And really, let's pray that everything goes smooth. And
Yeah.
if the deal close, I think the seller will kiss us.
Let's hope for the best.
Sure. So we have come to the end. Maybe one last words that from your advice for those people who are in this industry or people who are thinking about joining or they are new. What is your advice for them?
Okay, for people who are already in the industry, honestly, don't give up.
Yeah.
But work with the mindset that you want to do something different. Just don't work because you have to work, or you're just trying ways to close the property just to earn money. But you need to really go into the property, feel the property, and see what is the plus points of the property, and then bring down that value to people to experience it from how you feel it. So for agents, I will say, don't give up. The market is really huge out there. Don't give up. Just keep working. Be different from others. As far as new people who want to get into the industry, I will say in the real estate market is not an easy market.
It is not.
Okay, you need money to get started, to pump into your advertisements. And if you can do it, you can do it. But you need to be aggressive. You really
Right.
need, because currently I think our real estate market, the agents out there, everyone is very aggressive. So you just need to do better than everyone else.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You just need to be different. You just need to deliver the excellent service, and you must know what you are doing.
That's right.
All right. Okay. Really, thank you so much for coming to connecting the dots and share about your experience, Anita.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I really enjoyed this. Brought back a lot of memories actually thinking back.
Wonderful. I'll
Yeah.
get you for the next episode. Is that all right?
So soon. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, and look to see everyone again. See you next time.